It seemed like a normal conversation, nothing special,
Nothing intense.
just a simple exchange. She texted him, something small, playful, almost casual, and from his perspective,
There was nothing unusual about it.
so he replied the way he always did, direct,
Logical.
trying to keep the conversation going.
Trying to say the right thing. Trying to maintain the connection.
But what he didn't realize is that moment wasn't random. It was a test, not a conscious test.
But an emotional test. A way to feel his energy, his position, his confidence.
And without realizing it, he failed, not because he said something wrong, but because of how he responded.
Because instead of staying relaxed, he leaned in. He tried to do more.
He added effort.
He added explanation.
He tried to keep the interaction alive.
And that subtle shift.
Changed everything.
Because attraction is not built on effort alone. It's built on how someone shows up.
On how they respond under pressure. And in that moment, he showed something, not weakness in the obvious sense,
But a lack of grounding.
a need to maintain the interaction, a need to keep her engaged. And that's what she felt, not his words, but his energy.
Because attraction is not logical. It's emotional.
It's instinctive.
It's based on how someone makes you feel. And when someone feels like they need the interaction, instead of choosing it,
The dynamic shifts. So the conversation continued, but something was different,
her responses became shorter, less engaged.
less playful, and he noticed it immediately. But instead of stepping back,
He leaned in even more,
trying to fix it,
trying to bring back the energy, trying to understand what changed.
and that's when things got worse, because now
He wasn't just responding.
he was reacting.
Every message had weight.
Every reply had intention,
Every pause created tension.
and that tension,
Came from him,
not from her,
because she was already stepping back.
observing, feeling the shift. And the more he tried, the more the dynamic moved in one direction, him chasing, her pulling away.
But here's the part most men never understand. She wasn't pulling away because she lost interest instantly.
She was pulling away because the interaction changed.
Because the energy changed.
At the beginning, he was relaxed, unpredictable, present.
He didn't overthink. He wasn't focused on
Absolutely.
the outcome.
And next
He was
time,
just
we
there,
have to try
and
their
that's what made it
pastries.
attractive. But over time, that disappeared,
Replaced by effort, by control.
by the need to not lose the connection,
And that need,
is what failed the test.
because every interaction contains small moments like that.
Moments where pressure appears, where uncertainty shows up, where the dynamic can shift. And in those moments, your reaction defines everything. Not what you say, but how you show up.
Do you stay grounded, or do you react?
Do you remain present?
Or do you try to control the outcome?
Because the moment you try to control, you lose your position. And that's exactly what happened. So after that conversation, things never felt the same again. She became more distant, more selective,
Less invested.
and he felt it. But instead of understanding it,
He tried to fix it.
more messages,
More attention.
more effort.
Trying to recover something that was already gone.
And that's where most men go wrong.
They think attraction is something you can rebuild with effort.
But attraction doesn't work like that. It's about maintaining the right position.
And once the position is lost,
Effort only makes it worse.
because it reinforces the imbalance.
It shows that you are the one trying, the one chasing. So what should he have done? Nothing. Not in the sense of ignoring, but in the sense of staying grounded.
Of not reacting to every shift. Of not trying to fix every change. Of allowing space.
Because space is what allows dynamics to rebalance. Not effort, not control, not overthinking.
Because when you remain stable,
Regardless of what happens, you maintain your position, and that's what attraction responds to. But the moment your behavior becomes dependent,
everything changes. And this is why most men fail tests they don't even see. They focus on words,
on actions, on strategies,
but they ignore the most important part.
energy, position.
Emotional control.
And once you understand that, everything becomes clearer. You stop reacting to every small change. You stop trying to fix everything. You stop over-investing. And you start observing, understanding, choosing. Because now,
You are no longer being tested. You are simply present.
grounded, in control,